Hello, my name's Andrew, and today I have for you a video about the vivobarefoot FG2 sole. So I made a video about the sole a few weeks ago comparing it to the original vivobarefoot FG1. And at the time I wasn't that hyped about the FG2 because it just seemed like it wasn't quite as flexible as the original one. And it seemed like it would be great for like backpacking and if you're going on really rocky terrain where you just need something super tough, you know, where it's got some decent flexibility, but mostly it's just got like thicker lugs and, you know, so you're not getting jabbed by sharp rocks and stuff like that. But it didn't seem like the most versatile sole overall. However, I've had a realization because I got a new boot from vivobarefoot a few weeks ago, actually shortly after I made the video. This is the Tracker Decon JJF version. And there's something interesting about this boot. It has a very lightweight upper. And I learned something that I haven't learned in probably about 7 years of barefooting, which is that when you have a lightweight flexible upper, it completely changes the sole. Like, check out this flexibility. You can easily bend it in half. And then if you look at the Tracker Textile, this one, really have to work at it. It almost feels like a completely different sole. And it did feel like a different sole when I was walking and doing some hiking and testing with it. So I just thought I'd make this video because I've changed my mind about the FG2 sole, and I actually think it might be the most versatile sole that vivobarefoot has ever made for hiking on trails. So yeah, I just want to share a few things that I really like about it that I've been liking since I've been using it. Obviously number one is just the flexibility. You know, you can bend it both ways, but you can also twist it like this, which you certainly cannot do with the Tracker Textile. That thing is not a bagel. It does not want to be twisted. You know, great for backpacking, like I said, but yeah, not super flexible. So that's number one. Number two would be, I like the fact that these lugs are spaced wider apart, all over the boot, because with the original FG sole, you know, it was all right because the lugs are fairly thin, so they didn't trap that much mud, but they are pretty close together, so it was kind of annoying when mud got in there to try to get it out. But actually I've cleaned this boot, so it's not a great example right now because I cleaned most of the mud out of it. But yeah, with this FG2 sole, okay, like I literally have not cleaned this boot. I went like hiking on a muddy trail, and this is what it looks like. There's like almost no mud anywhere. And I think the reason for that is because they've got this like sort of chopped off pyramid shape you can see, you know, it's like you take a Egyptian pyramid and just like cut off the top. So I think the mud sort of like slides off of it. And like I said, it's spaced. So yeah. Another thing that I really like about this sole is that it's just got a really good grip for multiple terrains. Like the lugs are cut off flat, so they feel good walking on like rocks and boulders and stuff like that. But then they're also spaced really wide, so it has some great grip on muddy terrain if you're going down hills or, you know, pulling yourself up a hill. I've been able to go on pretty much any grade of hill with these. And vivobarefoot does have the SG sole, which looks more like a claw, like that. And it's a little better, you know, for extreme hills, but it has the problem of like it collects mud here, and this one doesn't. So I don't know, I kind of feel like the FG2 is almost better for mud in some circumstances, because especially if the mud's sort of like not super wet, you know, it's kind of like clayish, that's when it really sticks to the boot, and that's a circumstance where I really like something like this. Another thing that I really like about the FG2 in a later boot like this is that it's got a really excellent amount of ground feel. So even though the overall thickness of the boot is 7mm, which is, you know, that's medium thick for a barefoot shoe, the lugs are 4mm, and then the midsole itself is 3mm. So this thing essentially, if you're not looking at the lugs, is thinner than the vivobarefoot Primus Lite, which is meant to be a road shoe. So you just get, like you can see as I'm pressing in here, you get a ton of ground feel, which I really love. Compared to the FG original sole, you get some good ground feel as well. It is a little bit more rigid feeling. The one thing I do like about this sole is that it feels more flat and the lugs are closer together, so you don't really notice that the lugs are there. It's a little bit more like kind of seamless experience, especially when you're walking on like pavement. I find that if I'm walking on pavement with the FG2 sole, even in a thinner boot like this, I kind of feel the lugs. It's not really uncomfortable, I would say. It's just something I notice, you know, it's a small thing, but I do notice it. And I don't know, for me, like if you're wearing a barefoot shoe, you're kind of trying not to notice things, but it's not uncomfortable whatsoever. And I don't even have to really wear any padding with it. It's just more of like awareness thing. But yeah, I've just gone for some walks on roads with this, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, it's not the Primus Lite, so it's not designed for roads, but if you're hiking or backpacking, you have to do some portions on gravel or pavement or whatever, it works completely fine. So I'm really stoked about this sole now. And yeah, one last thing that I like is that even though the lugs are chopped off, they have put some triangle grooves in here, so that just adds a little bit more traction, so that if you're going on a flatter surface, you have a little bit more grip there as opposed to just cut off lugs. So I don't know, I'm really liking this boot, and I'm actually stoked to make a review about it. I've been chomping at the bit, but I haven't been able to because it is, let me turn the camera around here. You can see the snow out there. It just dumped a bunch of snow in Rochester, New York, so it's not the ideal for this boot. But I'm really looking forward to it, and I think for me, yeah, the FG2 sole is the most versatile Vivo Barefoot sole that I've tested, when you get it into a thin boot like this. So yeah, you guys can look forward to that review, and I'll post the link up here to the first impressions review that I did for the Tracker Decon. But until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.